super loud. They didn't even like, I don't know, I felt like he hit his head. Like, it's the worst. And like the girls' basketball game video like a couple days ago, she like, one girl totally fell, and it's just like so casual that she falls so far. Did you hear in the church live video today, Griffin's commentary was so funny. I hate it. It's so loud and like, it's so nice. It looks so much better when it's over here. What? It looks so much better when it's over here. Like I wish the Trojans could be smaller. Yeah, but I don't want her to. Don't do it. It's like over. How do you get that what?
Can you hear me?
People that do that.
Hopefully you can hear me. Somebody use a microphone.
They go, or like when he's throwing and like trying to distract.
Can you hear me talk? What? Is it? Oh my God, it's working! Wow. Sorry. I just screamed into this girl's ears. And are we back? Are we back? Are we back? Are we on like? Can they hear us? All right, guys. If you can hear me, sorry for the technical difficulty. We've been off for this entire second quarter and half of the first. Griffin.
We're back to normal.
Is yours working?
Hi, Alex. So we're just going to have to use this handheld mic because we've had so many issues tonight. Luckily, the Trojans haven't had too many issues. 3 goal good by Jorge San Ramon. We're going to give a full update on what has happened in this first half. I know you were watching the whole thing, Alex, so you can give all the thoughts. We apologize for all the technical difficulties tonight. Cole Powers has had a huge night in only his second game ever playing at the varsity level. It has been remarkable. He's a special athlete. Trojans trail by 1 here in this pivotal SCL game. Winner still has a shot at the end at winning the SCL title. Trojans haven't won since 1993. They lost to Piner 51-47 before. Brendan O'Neill's shot is blocked. Shot clock turned off now for Piner here. They lead by 1. It's been a low-scoring affair. Trojans 6-2 in league. Piner 5-2. Both a game back of Healdsburg. Both have lost to Healdsburg. Drive by Sadler. Great defense by Anderson. It doesn't fall, and that's, well, 0.2 seconds left. The whistle will be Trojan ball, but that will do it for this first half. 24-23, Piner 1-point lead. All right, Alex, let's throw it back on us. Let's throw it back on us. Turn off the scoreboard. Turn off the scoreboard. I'm sorry, our tech people are bad today, but anyways, Griffin Epstein here.
Alex Dodd.
All right, Alex, you were watching that first full half. Trojans trail by 1 point. It's been close and low scoring. What are your thoughts so far?
Yeah, well, like you said, Cole Powers came in because I guess he was the backup point guard to Izetta, but Izetta got bumped up to the starting lineup, so Powers was forced into a bigger role here tonight, and he's done well. He was the guarding the inbounds man. Yeah. He was guarding the inbounds man twice. One on the first time forced a 5-second violation, so that was good. And on the second one, he tipped it, and the Trojans got points off that. He's hit 2 open threes. Really been a big part of this Trojans. Trojans aren't winning, no Trojan lead, but the Trojans being in this game, and yeah, he's been a big part of that for sure.
And only 23 points, though, for the Trojans. That is pretty low scoring so far, and they were only able to put up 47 points when they went to Piner in that loss. Piner really won that game by the free-throw line. They came back in that one. Piner only had 1 field goal in the fourth quarter, and yet they won the game. They had 23 free throws in that game. Haven't seen too much of that, but the Trojans just can't score the ball right now.
Yeah, their offense has been has been stagnating this game. They can't get. It seems like they're moving the ball well, and it seems like they're getting looks. They're just not really hitting shots. And the pace of the game has been a little slower than the game against Healdsburg, for example, where there was a lot of turnovers, and the Trojans haven't been pressing the whole game, I don't think. And so that's led to both offenses really getting in their sets and using the shot clock. And O'Neal's missed some layups. Anderson's been really good. He's hit, I'm guessing he has probably at least 10 points. He's been really good. He's working in the post against those smaller bigs against Piner. Like I said before, that's how the Trojans were gonna had to exploit those bigs to win. But Gottschall, quiet night from him so far, and same with Alexander. Really the only offense coming from that 3 from Wolpert, Anderson, and Powers' 2 threes.
Right. And it's been interesting. Gottschall struggled a little bit of late. Was okay against Healdsburg. But even then, the team captain, ever since that Sonoma incident, just hasn't felt exactly the same. He's averaging 10.5 points per game. He's second in the season, and yet he's struggled so much. So that might be somewhere to look. However, the Trojans have done a really good job using their size. A lot of offensive boards. How do they take more advantage of that, maybe to score a little bit more? The defense, it's worked.
I think that, with these bigs that the Trojans have, if Anderson or Gottschall gets the rebound, what they've been doing is, throwing an outlet like you do in basketball, do a guard like O'Neal or Izetta or Wolpert, and they're getting out there. But I think what they could do is just have those guards run to their spots and have the big guys bring the ball up the floor, because Gottschall and Anderson both can handle the ball pretty well for their size. And so I think that exactly, very, 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 yes. And so I think they could find their shooters some more open looks with that.
So we have about 7 minutes left. Trojans trail by 1 here, and it's been 1993 the last time that the Petaluma Trojans won the SCL tournament. And boy, we were here. This game's on our YouTube channel. The Healdsburg lost. The Trojans were in control of that game. They had an 11-point lead at the half. It just felt like they would win that ball game. And instead, you got the standings right there. If we want to, right here, if you want to pull that out, Healdsburg was remaining undefeated in league, and it looked like the Trojans were probably out of an SCL title. But last week, Sonoma shocked Healdsburg. Sonoma Dragons only 4-4 and play pretty mediocre this year, as they normally are. But they beat Healdsburg. So because of that, if the Trojans win out, including a victory against Healdsburg on the 9th at Healdsburg, they would still win the league tourney. But right now, they've struggled in those close games. That Healdsburg loss really hurt them. Piner got blown out, though, by Healdsburg in both of their games.
Yeah, I think it was a really tough loss for Healdsburg. That's brutal. They were in control of the SCL, and now with that loss, they opened the floodgates for Piner and Petaluma to both try and grab their spot at the number 1. And what was I talking? I was saying, yeah. So now the Trojans have the chance to come back and win, and this is a really important game in their journey to do that. And down by 1 at halftime, looks like they're right in it. They're right in it.
So it's going to be a battle. We do again apologize for all the technical issues. We will have full highlights of this game tomorrow. We will have full audio unless something disastrous comes along for the rest of the second half. And it should be a thrilling conclusion. Pretty much the winner here remains with a shot. However, the Trojans are in a better position because if they win out, they will win SCL or co-champs with Healdsburg. Piner, because they lost to Healdsburg last Friday night, would need Healdsburg to lose again, even if they won this game. But both teams still have that dream of taking home the SCL title. Healdsburg does travel to Annalee tonight. That's not a must-win, hard place to play, so maybe that's where both teams could get some help tonight. Anyways, it is a huge game. Trojans have struggled with some pressure, some tension, and close affairs. Looks like maybe at points has got to them with some of their players. Cole Powers coming out of the nowhere to be one of the top players on the court. How do the Trojans get those top players back involved again?
Yeah, well, I think for Powers, Powers has been playing great. He just has to keep doing what he's doing. I think he really has something to prove. You know, he's been sitting on the bench all year. You know, he's a quarterback of the JV team. He's been a leader on his sports teams. Right. And I think that he feels that he can really contribute to this team. And for the Trojans, they really have to get. I think they're missing Ellis. I think he probably brought some shooting, some speed, some experience to this offense. And now with Izeta's good, but he hasn't hit a three tonight. I think he's taken 3, all have been off the mark. That's been a blemish, you could say, on the Trojans' offense tonight. Missing threes. Wolbert's hit 1, Anderson's hit 1, I think, maybe 2, and Powers is at 2. But Izeta hasn't hit any, and they've attempted some more, and they just haven't been falling. So I think they just really have to keep trusting themselves and not get don't mind trick themselves too much and just trust themselves.
What about Brendan O'Neill? Seeing him get aggressive, get some couple offensive boards. He was their leading scorer last year, and he's really the man in the middle, the heart and soul of this team. How do they get him involved against? He's going up against Jared Sadler, who's the top player on Piner. How do they get him going?
Yes, Sadler has been a very tough defensive matchup for O'Neill so far tonight. Both are very quick twitch athletes, if you know what I mean. They both are very quick off the mark, stretchy athletes, and they've kind of shut each other down in a way. Sadler hasn't been doing too much on offense either, but for O'Neill, he's been kind of erratic tonight on offense. Maybe feels like he has to do too much because he's driven down the lane a few times pretty aggressively and thrown up pretty wild shots. And so for him, I think the key is to relax, which, you know, might not be possible for him. He always plays so hard, which is a good thing, but just has to get things a little more under control, and I think that'll help this Trojans offense.
So overall, you satisfied with the Trojans on the defensive end? They've been really good all year, only allowed 49 points per game so far, and Piner obviously has a lot of potential. They've still only put 24 points on the board with a lot of points and players.
Yeah, Piner's done a really good job actually tonight of finding the weak spots in this zone defense. They've gotten the ball inside a few times for not easy shots because you have Anderson down there, but easier shots than you would get usually against this Trojans defense. And they've also swung the ball around the outside pretty nicely as well, getting themselves some open shots. And they only, like you said, they only have 24 points. It's only have a 1-point advantage, but I think they've been doing a pretty good job against this defense because it's a tough task.
Back and forth there. Neither team is. I'm not sure. Do you know what the biggest lead is for either team?
The Trojans got out to a 4-0.
Right.
That might be it.
That might be it. Yeah. Back and forth. 4 5, yeah. And these teams are really even, and it feels like it is going to come down to that end. The concern for the Trojans, they're 1-6 in games decided by 5 points, or games that are within 5 points on either side in those last 4 minutes, including that loss to Healdsburg, where they really self-deconstructed in this gym with these crazy fans in a place that was their only loss all year long.
Yeah, I think the fans might be able. I mean, we said this last game against Healdsburg too. The fans might give them an edge here in the you know, can't find the word for it, the last minutes of the game, I guess. Yeah. And but I said this last game too. I think they really can use their experience playing these close games to their advantage. But so far this season, that just really hasn't happened. And they played 7 games of them. I mean, that's a huge chunk of their schedule playing these close games. And if they can't start using that experience soon, it's going to be too late.
Back on court, please. Kaylee, back on court, please. Thank you to Kaylee Smith, Melody Noble, Tallulah Gardner, and everyone else. We got the scoreboard up as well. You can see that. You can see scoreboard and all that's good. Look on the screen. All right, Trojan ball here to start. Gottschall's got it. Anderson, O'Neill, Izetta, and Wolbert in as well. 16 more minutes of basketball to go. This should be a lot of fun. Beautiful screen by Anderson. Gottschall lays it in, and the Trojans retake the lead. Head coach Scott Bear is actually coming out once this game has already started.
Yeah, that's one of those plays that I've been saying all year in the last 2 games on air here that the Trojans need to do. Off-ball screens, off-ball movement. You see there, Anderson sets a back screen on Gottschall's defender, and Gottschall just slips by for the easy layup. That's what the Trojans need to do more of.
Really nice play design out of the locker room. Has to be happy about that. Shot clock running down here to 5. Piner's been methodical. What a beautiful spin move, but Jack Anderson rejects them. The Trojans definitely have the advantage in size, and they have used that so far tonight.
Yeah, they have. Piner hasn't been able to do too much in the paint except for finding those weak spots, exploiting the blind sides of Anderson and Gottschall, as Anderson isn't able to block that one as Carpenter floats it over the outstretched hand there, and the Trojans are back on offense here.
Izetta's got it. As you mentioned, he's been quiet. Colt Powers with 6 points. Only his second game. He was called up from Varsity after Whitaker Ellis went out for the season with a broken collarbone in the Healdsburg game. Gottschall lost it, wanted a foul. They've called it very loosely tonight, haven't they?
Yeah, the refs have let these 2 teams play, which has been very good, but I think that's also a contributing factor in this low score. Last game against Healdsburg, there's a lot of fouls called, and I think that inflated the score a little bit. But yeah, they've let him play as another could-be foul is let go by the refs.
Gutierrez with the drive, but the Trojans a lot of size inside. Wolbert's been aggressive. He's another strong leader, Varsity starting quarterback for the football team. O'Neill can't handle it, though. Trojans have had some trouble holding on to the football, and then Sadler the other way. Anderson's done a great job at the offensive board by Christian Gutierrez gets Mike Aronson's support, the longtime Piner coach. What a season the young prospectors have had. 15-6. Izetta just aggressive there, and he's able to force the foul, first team foul on Piner.
Yeah, that was a Stephen Curry-esque little flop there, but I think it's a smart play because these refs, I don't think that would have been called if he didn't use those facial and body emotions and movements there to drop the call. Smart play.
Just feels like Trojan's offense has been a little bit out of rhythm all night long, which is surprising considering they're coming off their best offensive performance at El Molino on Friday. They put up 79 points, the season high, and yeah, the Lions aren't the greatest team, only 1 SCL win on the season. No SCL wins on the season. But still, they have struggled offensively. We're going to have a foul there, off-the-ball foul on Piner, so down 2 team fouls, but we talked about it during the halftime that the Trojans just need to get their offense in rhythm, and Jack Anderson leads the team in scoring. Feels like he's the guy that has to get them going. Yeah,
he tried to do it in the first half, scored on a few consecutive possessions there, and didn't really help other players in the team, and obviously help the team because they got points off it. But I think he just has to continue being confident, being the catalyst of this offense, taking his shots, taking threes, moving in the post as he does here. Takes a turnaround, and that falls.
That was quite a shot by Anderson. That's about the edge of his range unless he's wide open from 3, but he hits that. He has been fantastic this year, 12.5 points per game, including a 24-point performance against Casa, 17 against Emmanuel. 3 ball is off the mark by Gutierrez, and a hard board pull down by Anderson. Another foul called on Piner. Trojans could be heading to the line here early if Piner's not careful.
Yeah, like you said, 3 team fouls on Piner already, and is it 5 fouls for the bonus?
7.
7 for the bonus, and only 3 minutes elapsed here in the third quarter. The Trojans are well on their way to having a lot of free shots, which could help them a lot in this tight game.
Even though Piner is young, they do have a lot of depth on their squad. Just 2 seniors, but almost all their players will get some playing time, and we've already seen that tonight. Izetta, a probing move. Trojans just feel like almost the nerves at points getting to them. They've just been sort of sloppy out of sorts, a lot of drop balls.
Yeah, a lot of 3 turnovers here to start the second half, and they cannot keep that up if they want to have a shot at winning this game. Playing sloppy. I think they're a little antsy, maybe playing a little too over-aggressive. I don't blame them. This is a very important game when they're down by 1 as Sadler.
Yeah, and Sadler finally getting involved. We talked about him at halftime. He's the leading scorer for Piner, and he's gone through some injury problems, but he has really excelled of late. Healdsburg was able to neutralize him, though, in both their games, and so far he's been pretty neutralized, but able to hit there, and then Anderson with a tough shot, couldn't even hit the rim. Beautiful ball movement inside, and Gutierrez, or excuse me, San Ramon, the 6'3" junior forward, will head to the line for two. That is great ball movement by Piner. They just look a little bit more confident, a little bit more energy right now.
Yeah, definitely. Piner seems to be playing with a little more precision as opposed to their Trojan counterparts, but this is going to be a huge couple-minute stretch here to wind down the third quarter for the Trojans, down by 3, and if San Ramon can hit these free throws, well, stretch that lead to 5, and that's a pretty big margin in a close game like this. As you see, Bears getting ready to check in Powers, see if he can provide a spark off the bench like he did earlier in the game.
Yeah, Powers with 6 points, is that correct?
Yes, I think so.
So that is in Trojans to put up 27 points. That's quite significant. It was, again, just his first game on Friday night, and it was against El Molino, so he was the leading scorer on JV, and it feels almost similar because he took Justin Wolbert, starting quarterback for most of the season at varsity football, but Powers went into a quarterback competition with him midway through the season and got a lot of playing time, and I know he was frustrated not to be on varsity this year, but now he's gotten the call up, and suddenly you're wondering why wasn't he here the entire season. Anyways, a 5-point lead. Powers back out there. Trojans are hoping he can continue to provide this spark and energy that we have not seen from very much other the offense. Anderson just trying to get going, can't hit. O'Neal battling, and Trojan, no, Piner ball.
Yeah, Jack is trying to make something happen. Obviously frustrated after that miss. He definitely thought he could hit that shot, and he's right. He could have. He was right there. He's obviously trying to carry this burden of the Trojan offense here. And I think it's a smart plan because he's the best scorer. He can do it in a lot of ways, and the Trojans are struggling as Piner turns it over. You know, a glimmer of hope here for the Trojans. See if they can turn that into points.
Well, that turnover will help. Trojans always bring their defense, and it hasn't been easy out there for Piner. They've really done a noble job finding some open lanes, being patient about it, but their defense has been shut down, and the Trojans right now with just no creativity or movement at all. Anderson now being forced outside of the paint. A foul, that is the only opportunity right now. It feels like the Trojans could score now up to 4 team fouls on both, and this game's so important. A lot of pressure on them in the home gym. This game's been very hyped up around campus. The student section totally filled. It's whiteout night, and yet even though they're so experienced, we have seen with this class the moment get to them multiple times over their career.
Yeah, it's unfortunate. Like you said, 1 and 6 in 5-point games. Anderson tries to make something happen. He gets fouled. That shot almost goes in. Wow, that would have. Student section would have been very excited if he had made that one, but I think Anderson has taken the last at least 3 or 4 shots of these Trojan possessions, just trying to get something going.
And I know how important he is to their offense, just trying to get him involved. He's really been the focal point all season long. How many viewers do we have, Kaylee? How many viewers? 15 viewers, so we appreciate everyone tuning in, even with the first half technical issues. Trojan ball. Well, that's a great fight there by Gottschall, even though he hasn't been able to score tonight.
Yeah, to start this second half, the refs have been calling in the favor of the Trojans, and it's really important for them to capitalize.
Gottschall in traffic will force the foul. Look at Cole Powers sprinting to him. He looks like he's been waiting for this moment all season long. It's been remarkable. I've seen him clapping his hands. He looks like he has 10 times more energy than anyone else on the court tonight.
You're right, he probably does, and you know, he's been saving up his energy. He's a big guy. I think he's playing as a point guard, but he's I think must be at least 6 feet tall, maybe 6 feet 2. And he's long, he's athletic, he can shoot, plays hard. I think he's going to be a valuable plug and play for this Trojans team.
Could be huge next year as well. Only a junior. Both free throws good by Gottschall. Lead down to 3, and the Trojans, as you mentioned, have gone absolutely huge here. Powers at 6 feet is the point guard. Wolbert, who is just a tick below 6 feet 5'10", is the shooting guard, and they're just trying to use their size against Piner, who is not the tallest team, but known more for their speed and aggressive play. And so far, it's given the Trojans offense a lot of trouble, especially with turning the ball over. 2:30 left to go here, live from the PHS gym. Wolbert inside, aggressive. Great play by Sadler. He is quite an athletically skilled player, isn't he?
Yeah, that was a tough. Sadler, yes, very athletic, quick twitch athlete, like I said earlier. That was a tough shot by Wolbert. Looks like he had powers on the wing there for a 3. Might have been able to kick it out, but instead drives as Sadler does the same, and he gets fouled.
Now were the fancy moves by Sadler. You also got Carpenter inside, who's played so far very well. He is one of the 2 seniors, along with Benaim Giermelak, who we haven't even seen for Piner. The 6'3 senior forward Carpenter. He's provided some issues inside, and he's frustrated Jack Anderson tonight.
Yeah, he has, as a 3 taken in the corner.
Erickson. Coach's son. Off the mark. 2 minutes left. Appreciate everyone joining us live here. Winner will still have a shot at the SCL Championship. The loser, well, there's not going to be an SCL Championship this year. Trojans are looking for their first since 1993. Piner in almost 10 years. Gottschall inside. He gets to the line for 2. And the Trojans are just going inside. They're trying to use their size and are at now 16 fouls.
Yeah, I'm not a big fan of this version of the Trojans offense, though. It seems like they're just kind of swinging the ball around, moving, kind of not really setting any screens, and then hoping for someone to make a play. And when you rely on the playmaking skills of all your players, you're going to tire them out, you're going to be disappointed, and you're going to put a lot of pressure on them. Right. I would like to see them really try and set more back screens and have just some more action to get these players some open shots, because every shot they've taken so far this half has been contested.
Back on us. Back on us. Our tech is just, there we go. Thank you, JB. Okay, Griffin Epstein here.
I'm Alex Dodd.
And the student section is making a lot of noise here. You're not happy about this Trojan offense. They were not hitting their 3s, though, in the first half. I think Cole Powers had the only 3-pointer. We haven't seen much from Izetta. Trey Davis isn't playing as well, who's their best 3-point shooter. So they have resorted just to go inside to that paint. But you want to see more ball movement, more back cut set, like we saw maybe that first play coming out of the locker room.
Yeah, I want to see some, not necessarily set plays, but just an offense where the goal of the ball movement is to get open shots, not, just get some space and try and make something happen. Because when you do that, like I said, you put a lot of pressure on them. So I want to see the Trojans, set screens for each other off ball on the weak side, and really try and make something happen and ease this pressure off Anderson and Gottschall, who are having to take the ball to the hoop every time. And they're getting fouls drawn, which is good, but they're also tiring themselves out, and, it's tough.
Absolutely. Back on court. Back on court. So Tula Gardner also on camera tonight. Would like to thank her for her strong work. Trojans trail by 1 here. 17 fouls. They'll be in the bonus next time. Only 2 team fouls on the Trojans. Piner's gone a little cold the last few minutes. Trojans have gone so big with their size here, and Piner can't go very much inside with is a little bit smaller. Wolbert with good hands there. Taps it out. 16 seconds left here on the shot clock. Piner has had a fantastic season overall. They had a really good non-conference season. They were 15-6. Victories over Maria Carrillo, St. Helena, and they actually beat Healdsburg in a tournament game.
Wow, yeah, as a 3 is off iron there. I was just going to point out that I think taking Izetta out in favor for Powers is a smart move, not just because, Powers is a good player, but just because of his size. Like you said, trying to exploit the size or lack thereof on this Piner team by putting in Powers could reap benefits for the Trojans. Anderson takes it, and he's blocked, gets his own rebound. The Trojans will try and reset.
Forces another foul, and it just has to be so frustrating for Piner right now. They're just double teaming him, triple teaming him, but he's still somehow finding a way to get to the line. But you do wonder how stressful it is. We saw it in the Casa game. They defeated rival Casa Grande 61-49, and in that game, Gottschall and Anderson carried the Trojans just because they were so unstoppable and they couldn't guard them, but it really hasn't been that tonight. And we've seen other times where they've tried to rely on them as the rim is kind and we're back tied at 32, that Trojans have tried to rely on their big men against San Rafael, against Novato, against Emmanuel. Those were some of their non-conference games, and even against Healdsburg late in that game when they lost, and they were unable, is it Piner ball, Trojans were unable to generate a lot of offense because if Anderson goes cold here and loses that aggressiveness, as you said, they don't have any offense to speak of.
They really don't. They're stuck relying on Gottschall to drive to the hoop and make something happen, which he can do in the right matchup. But if there's someone bigger on him or someone quicker, it's hard to make anything happen. And, you know, the shooting of Izetta, all the shooting on the Trojans team, you know, on the high school level, it's usually like this. Not really off-ball, off-dribble shooting. It's open looks. When you don't have a big playmaking presence to get them open looks, they're stuck taking contested shots that just are not high-percentage looks.
Piner has resorted to a lot of threes, though, here because the Trojans have kept this huge lineup in, and they realize they can't go inside. They're not going to have any opportunity to do much of anything inside there, but they have really gone cold from outside, and they only have 11 points in this half, but the Trojans only with 12. It's been low scoring throughout. 10 seconds left. Shot clock turned off. O'Neal's got it. Anderson doesn't want to be up by the three-point line. A step back. That's not his shot. Walbert pulls it down. Gottschall, where would it go at the buzzer? So we are tied at 32. Back on us. So 32-32 here. We got 8 more minutes to decide this. Actually, let's head on court to watch the cheerleaders. So we'll watch the cheerleaders, and then we're going to talk about what do the Trojans need to do to win this one. Yes. Thanks, Mike. It's probably an understatement.
Classic Division III high school basketball.
Well, what do the back on court? Thank you. You got it, Kaylee. Congratulations. We got 8 more minutes here. What? Yes, on court, please. What do the Trojans need to do here to pull off this victory and keep their SCL title hopes alive?
I think the key, now that they're in the bonus, is really just to keep driving. I mean, if they keep driving, they keep their energy up. There's only 8 minutes left in this game. If they can last and really just try and wear the Prospectors down with free throw attempts, they can just kind of glide away without having to worry about creating necessarily those open looks that I was talking about.
One concern, though, might be the Trojans nerve late. They're hitting their free throws and doing a good job of that now. They've really done a very good job for the free throw line all this year, but can they continue that when it gets tough? Anderson battling triple team. You just got to be a little smarter there. He can't shoot that.
Yeah, I think he should try and pass out of that post because he knows the defenders are going to flock to him.
Gutierrez three is off. Oh, my goodness. Will was boxing out Jacob Monday, who's had a really strong non-conference play when Jared Sadler was out. I don't know. Not there. Other notable wins for Piner, they beat San Marin as O'Neal has just done nothing offensively tonight. 3-ball off. Piner also beat Hercules Santa Rosa. They lost by 3 points to Mount Eden and played Cardinal Newman pretty close as well. So even without Sadler, they played well. Trojans' zone defense and size, though, has been too much for them offensively. Another 3 is off the mark. Another offensive board. And Jack Anderson is just not going to let them drive inside tonight, is he?
No, he's not. He's going to use his size to spike that. Wow. Explicit chance there from the student section, but I was going to say that, you know, we see it in the past few possessions for Piner exploiting the weak zones in this Trojan offense, and those open looks are just a powder keg waiting to explode for this Trojan defense, because if Piner keeps getting those looks, they're going to start hitting them, and it's going to be threes are going to start raining down on them, and it's going to be tough.
Hey guys, let's head back on us. So scoreboard's a little off here, but under 7 to go here. 34-32. This is obviously going to be intense at all. Again, if you're just joining us, Piner 5-2 overall in league. The Trojans 6-2 overall in league. The winner here tonight will be a game back of Healdsburg. And the Trojans still have to face Healdsburg if they win out, and they will have 3 more SCL games tonight. They would win their first SCL title since 1993, but they have to be truly focused on this right now. And Anderson's been the focal point. Do they want to go to Gottschall? He averages over 10 points per game. He had a 17-11 game against Novato. He's such an outstanding player. He's their captain back on court. He's such an outstanding player. Do they want to get Gottschall involved?
I think they should. I think Anderson might be taking this offensive load a little too seriously or a little too heavy, really trying to do everything. As a scoreboard, a little malfunction there. It's messed up.
We got 70 minutes on the scoreboard, which is not right. Yeah, we got 70 more minutes, so don't worry that we missed the first half. Technical issues we got. Okay, there we go. 7 minutes, 6 seconds. Head coach Scott Bear's very red in the face. He's looked agitated. I think he's been frustrated with this lack of offense, and right now he is riding this group of 5. They've been in with about 4 minutes left after he benched Izetta, who started this one. Sadler, oh, he found Gutierrez inside, but Gottschall with great defense, and it's Trojan ball. The Piner fans cannot believe that call. I think it's actually been pretty well called, though. They knew how tight they called it against Piner, and that got Petaluma was furious after that game, and they've taken that to heart tonight.
Yeah, that weird officiating situation at the end of the Healdsburg game last week.
Right, and the Piner game.
And the Piner game, both. I think that the refs might be a little hesitant as they call a 1-and-1 against.
Yeah, foul here on, I think, Gutierrez. No, yes, Gutierrez, Christian Gutierrez, who's not happy. 18 fouls, and as you said it, the Trojans could possibly win this game from the line here. Anderson 2 3 throws, and he is dialed in right now, at least from the line. He has shot very well, and he might be busy the way we're seeing it. They're going to get Brennan Carpenter, their biggest man, 6'3", back, but Piner is so small that Carpenter is going to guard Anderson. He's 5 inches shorter, but Piner's done a lot of double teams on Anderson. Cole Powers has been a lot quieter in the second half. I know it's big time now, but feels like maybe he could hit some threes.
Yeah, hasn't got those open looks that he did in the first half. I think he's playing smart. He's not trying to do too much. As again, these open threes the Trojans are giving up. Piner misses another one, but if they keep getting those, they're gonna start hitting them.
Right, absolutely great ball movement. They have not hit a 3 in the second half, and they did hit a few in that first half, so they have really gone cold here. Into O'Neal on the smaller Gutierrez, and there are 2 Gutierrez's on the Prospectors. Adonis is number 15, Christian is 31, so they're both on the floor. That is clear up any confusion. Under 6 to go here, tied at 34, live for the PHS gym. Who will keep their SCL title hopes alive? Appreciate you joining us. Great inlet pass and attracted the defense, and that's Carpenter with the lay-in.
This zone defense is not doing any favors for the Trojans. The Piners have found a way to move the ball in such a way that gives them open looks, and they've been open threes in the past right now, but on that one, they got a wide open layup as Anderson tries to make something happen again, and once again not able to. Fighting hard for the rebound. Well, that's going to go back to Piner.
Yeah, just right now it seems like it's a one man almost on the Trojans team. There aren't a lot of back cuts. We're going to see O'Neal go out, who has struggled to say the least. This is Brendan O'Neal almost always brings it, but even defensively, he's been so out there, and that means that Robert Holmes will re-enter, who has even a little bit more size. We'll try to use him. He's not a big shooter, but right now, Coach Bears is going to have to try anything to get this offense going. Their defense has carried them. I don't think either team's going to reach 50 in this one, but it is credit to 2 fantastic defenses. Good hands by Wolbert. 10 seconds left now on the shot clock. Sadler's been so quiet. Good ball movement inside, and the foul for Brennan Carpenter. Well, Piner, with their patience, that has really worked getting it inside on these last few possessions.
Yeah, another wide open, well, not wide open, but another open look right around the basket. That is very, very close. They don't want to give up those close shots there. Anderson gets called for the foul. He thinks he went straight up, and he misses the front end of the 1-and-1 and Petaluma will retain possession there after Anderson loses it.
Yeah, he coddled that with one hand right now. There almost feels like the Piner is attacking him, swarming him. Can the Trojans get someone more involved? Justin Wolbert, he's played better of late, averaging 5 points per game, but scoring-wise, he put up 10 in their Big Italy victory on the road, a place they hadn't won in 7 years before that victory. Gottschall with a great fake. He drives in and will head to the line for 2. 19 fouls on the next final. The Trojans will be in the double bonus, so that absolutely helps a lot.
If the Trojans can start making some of these fouls, the shots that come before the fouls. Obviously, making the free throws is important as well. But if they can put in some of these layups, that'll be important. Gottschall makes the first of 2 here as both teams make some substitutions. Looks like Powers will come out for the Trojans and Izetta will come back in as Gottschall gets ready to take his second shot here. And that's good. Huge shots for the Trojans. They've got to hit every shot they can to stay in this game.
Feels like free throws are going to be vital, but they've done a great job. Much better than Healdsburg, where they really struggled. Bombs away from three-point line. It's been. That was Erickson who was off the mark, the coach's son. He's been called. Erickson tries a second time, and this time he's got it. As you said, if they just keep on shooting open threes, eventually they are bound to hit. 41-36 here, and we are approaching the halfway point. The Trojans need to find some offense. Izetta has re-entered. Powers takes the seat. Izetta, the only returning junior, varsity junior on this squad, so he's got some experience and he's got great handles. Wolbert inside, but there's just nothing doing in there. Offensive board Holmes, he thought about it. Now Gottschall's going to pull out. 10 seconds left, and I think a smart timeout there by Devin Gottschall. Coach Bears has got to delve deep into his playbook, into his back on us, please. Back into his basketball mind and find some offensive plays that could get the Trojans in rhythm.
Yeah, the spacing on that last possession was terrible. At one point, all 5 Trojans were on one side of the court. You can't make anything happen with that. And once again, I don't think it's going to happen in this game that the Trojans are going to, find some Warriors-like offense and start getting open shots. But, it seems like they're just going to have to grind it out. Anderson and Gottschall might have to carry this load, and they just have to hit their free throws.
It just feels like at least getting a little bit better ball movement, because right now it's just, I'm going to throw it over to Wolbert or Powers, and then they just throw it right in and they're posting up. It's the same play, at least finding a way to mix that up so it is more creative for them, so at least they can fool them a little bit. Back on court.
Or at least even trying, just once Gottschall or Anderson, if they get doubled or tripled, just kick it out and have a shot at an open three, because it's a higher percentage look than these contested triple team, double team looks that they're getting right now.
And they can hit threes, there's no doubt about it. Gottschall can hit some threes. Anderson has really improved his three-point shot. And Robbie Izetta had 3 threes in a victory against Santa Rosa. Shot clock down to 3. Good pump fake by Anderson. He's got to get it off in time. He does and lays it in. That was a pump fake and just mixing up a little bit. That did get Piner out of their spots.
Yeah, I think the Prospector defender there was expecting him to take the 3 with the shot clock winding down, but he pulled it down and drove it in. As a Piner, another open layup.
Scott Erickson, the lay-in and the ball movement has started to really improve for Piner. They have made some adjustments offensively, and they have found some holes in this Trojan defense that obviously has to be worn down, considering offensively where they've gone in the post and just how they had to do offensively. Somehow, Gottschall tips it to himself, but they said he stepped out of bounds. Piner ball here. 3 minutes left. Prospectors lead by 5.
Izetta has to start making some of those open looks. I think one of the big reasons he's on varsity is because of his three-point prowess. But his shots just aren't falling right now, along with the rest of the Trojans. It's 3 minutes left. They're going to have to make something happen if they want to win.
Izetta at a season high against Sonoma. He scored 12, but since then he's been quiet, and it just felt like no one's been able to do a lot. What a move to the rack by Scott Erickson. The coach's son is woken up here. Only one timeout for the Trojans, and they have their biggest deficit for either team of the game. It is 6. It was 5 on both sides before that. Trojans need to score here. They can't panic. There's plenty of time. Good ball movement to Holmes. Izetta is wide open. His foot was on the line. He hits. It's only a 2, though. While that was at least some good probing inside, it pushed Piner inside because they believe their only offense has to be in the paint.
Yeah. Nice pass by Holmes there behind the back to Izetta. Eyes in the back of his head, and Izetta, although his foot was on the line, sinks a big shot to keep the Trojans in this game.
Can the Trojans slow down this Piner attack that is warmed up by far its best? Much better movement. They were on fire. Jorge San Ramon hits, and the lead is 6. And, oh, thank you, 8 now, and it's danger time for the Trojans. They're going to have to go fast. O'Neal all the way to the rack. Couldn't finish. Gottschall has it. Izetta's wide open calling for it. Instead they'll force a foul, and they are in the double bonus. And they're going to have to get to the line a lot here.
I know what O'Neal and the rest of the squad is trying to do, but they cannot throw up erratic shots if they want to come back from an 8-point deficit here with 1:40 left. They're going to have to just find open looks here and stop the bleeding on the other end. The Prospectors are getting whatever they want on offense.
So Gottschall too from the line. The pressure's on. Trojans haven't suffered from that for the line, but they've suffered from pretty much everything else inefficient on offense. Walbert is in. Izetta really hasn't been able to get it going at all today, and hoping that the experienced senior Walbert, who's never phased, could get something going. Again in the double bonus. Trojans only have 1 timeout, and they only have 3 team fouls, so they might want to start fouling soon because it might become a necessity very soon, but probably still play defense here.
Yeah, they just have to get a few stops and hit a few shots on the other end, then they can think about fouling and, you know, burning that last time out to try and maybe drop a play to get a 3 for Anderson or Izetta or something like that. But right now, the Prospectors' offense is just moving the ball wide, and Walbert gets called for the foul. That's a questionable call there.
Late foul called there. And that means they reset the shot clock. Now you have to foul. I don't think there's any choice now. That was rough, and Piner's strategy there is to run the clock. I would assume they'd want to foul San Ramon. The big man, unlikely to be a good 3-throw shooter. Well, this pressure is absolutely on for Piner. A chance at the league title. However, my apologies, they only 5 team fouls, so the Trojans need to foul 2 more times here until they're even in the bonus.
Yeah, and they just fouled, what's his name, Coach's son, Erickson. Yeah. And I think will he head to the line? I think
so. One more foul here, and now the Prospectors can head to the line. And 1:10 left. Prospectors are gonna have to admit those 3 throws. Trojans might need to make some threes. They can't get it in for a while. San Ramon is who you want to foul, and they do. So San Ramon will head to the line for 1-1 here. Trojans missed some 3 throws. This is a little bit of music, not maybe the music for the Trojans, but remember they trailed by 7 points. The Healdsburg trailed by 7 points in this gym 2 weeks ago with 1:10 left. Here the Trojans trail by 6 points left, 6 points with 1:08. Do we have a reversal here?
Yeah, a little bit of reverse deja vu. Maybe the Trojans can, use some of that magic that Healdsburg found to pull out their win. But it seems like this Prospectors team is somehow extremely poised despite their inexperience, and they're just playing their game, wearing the Trojans down, as the Trojans, Coach Bears will burn their last time out, and it's going to be a race here to the finish.
Well, an 8-point lead now for Piner here, and it felt like the difference was not that the Trojans offense actually picked it up a little bit. It was the Piner offense that really picked it up. We didn't think either team could possibly get to 50 points the way both teams were struggling, but somehow Piner got a rhythm, and it really felt like the Trojan defense finally got tired.
Yeah, they were just decimating this powerful Trojan zone that we've seen, stifle SCL opponents throughout this year, and they've just moved the ball around, and I think they probably watched a lot of film on this team because it seems like they know exactly where the Trojans are going to be, as the crowd here is trying to will the Trojans back into this one and see if they can, have a comeback here.
Well, Trojan student section starting to get some long faces. They are not feeling good about this one. The Trojans would be eliminated from SCL contention if they lose tonight. However, they would still like at least a 3rd place finish, and still plenty more to play for, but it's not over just yet. They're going to have to go quickly, no doubt. They'd love to head to the line. Anderson, 3-throw J is good, and now they need to foul. San Ramon hit his first 2, so you want to find someone else. Oh, that's a dangerous pass up top. They don't call the foul, and now they will on Adonis Gutierrez, who is only a sophomore, the 5'11 guard. Well, you assume Coach Bears talked in that timeout who you want to foul on Piner, and they had some denied to the experienced Piner guards there.
Yeah, that was a dangerous inbounds pass by the Prospectors. Got it into Gutierrez, a sophomore. Let's see if the pressure of this moment gets to him. Nope, he makes the first one. Like I said before, this team looks poised. They look more experienced than the Trojans, if I'm being honest. Unfortunate.
Well, Piner has not looked nervous at all. They miss one. Izetta pulls it down. Trojans, again, need to go very quickly here, down to 45, and what a play by Scott Erickson. What a fourth quarter that junior has had. Well, being a coach's son is typically going to give you some good traits. He has stepped it up, hasn't he?
Yeah, he definitely has backed up the prestige of his name, if you will, in this fourth quarter with a nice deflection there. Anderson's going to have to make something happen here.
Anderson, three ball is good. It's not over just yet. Timeout, Coach Bears. That is his final timeout here. Piner still has to miss some free throws here. You wish Jack Anderson could have made that about 4 minutes ago, but it's not over just yet.
Yeah, Anderson seems to be willing the Trojans back here with a big jumper on the previous possession and a huge three there. It's strange though, both not very highly contested. He's gotten kind of lucky. Piner's defense might be weakening a little bit under this pressure. I don't know, but great shots by Anderson.
And they've had to be tired too. They've been the much smaller team here tonight, and yet they've done a great job really harassing Anderson. It's been hard sledding for him. They've shut down Gottschall. It has not been an easy night for them at all. I think the adrenaline will try to carry both teams through, but obviously all that training you've done in the summer trying to pay off in these last few moments.
Yeah, the Trojans seem to be...
Back on court. Thank you, Genevieve.
Trojans seem to be finally using that experience in a positive way here with Anderson hitting those two huge shots. We haven't seen that in the past of the Trojans' few close games.
It is tipped, and now they should foul because Gutierrez missed one of two. They do. They almost had him trapped, though. That could have gotten interesting. It's been good inbounds defense here by the Trojans, but Piner, even though they only have two seniors, they're not the most experienced team. They have played a lot of close games. They've been through a lot, and they are showing some poise.
Yeah, they have, which is very surprising, not only because of their inexperience, but because of the weakness of their non-league schedule. 15-6 in those games. Seems like they kind of dominated the competition.
They have some very impressive victories that the Trojans were not able to get as much. Gutierrez hits the first. He's dealing with all the noise. He hits both. That's clutch here. Trojans don't need a three again, but again, they need to get to the rack, and very quickly. That was the last and one. Piner will be in the double bonus on the next foul. Anderson just hit a three, and they will call a foul, so it's really the last thing Piner wants. They want them to take as much time as possible. Jorge San Ramon, the junior 6'3" forward, can't believe it. Anderson heads to the line for two more here, trying to cut the lead back down to 4.
Yeah, but even if Anderson hits both of these here, it's still a two-possession game. And the Trojans are just going to have to keep fouling and pray that the Prospectors miss one of those free throws, as Anderson misses a very important free throw there. That's tough.
That is rough now. And shot clock turned off here. Time running out. He splits. Feels like the Trojans have to get a steal if they have a chance. Remember, Healdsburg did that. They get it in, and now they have to foul. Gosh, they're taking forever to call those, which is definitely hurting them. Scott Erickson, probably not the guy you want at the line. The way he has played tonight. Son of the coach. Junior, 5'11" guard. Coach is talking to Gottschall, who plays with the emotion on his sleeve, no doubt. Oh,
Technical?
They might have.
Technical was called.
Yeah. And then the good bounce as well. Gottschall letting the emotions get to the best of him, which we've unfortunately seen in a rough game again for the team captain. This has been a rough second half of the season. So he's going to get 2 more free throws, and the lead out to 7. All right, okay, they're going to give him the 3 throws and the ball is the ruling. So they called the technical before. Yes, they'll get the ball here. 7-point lead, and they get it into Sadler. They need to foul. They never called it, I think. Did they call the foul? They called the foul before. Okay. There was no whistle there. At least I didn't hear anything. Foul on Izetta. And 2 more 3 throws. Jared Sadler, who split his pair earlier, misses the first. 7-point lead. Trojans have to shoot a 3, I think, at this point once they come the way back down.
They have to shoot a 3, and they probably have to get fouled on it, too. This one's pretty much over, as well as the Trojans' SCL title aspirations.
O'Neal wide open. Oh, it rimmed out. Still loose. And San Ramon is fouled again. That's going to do it. The Piner Prospectors are going to come in here and get a victory. Their fans are up clapping. That was an impressive victory for them. The Trojan student section not knowing what to do here, but timeout on Piner. Gottschall and the Prospectors having some more words here. Well, this is going to be back on us. This is going to be a tough one to swallow, isn't it?
It's going to be a very tough one, especially after the last week's loss to Healdsburg. They thought their title hopes were shot. Then Healdsburg loses a shocker to Sonoma, and all of a sudden they're back in it. And now this again just seems like they're cursed.
It definitely hurts, and you wonder where that Trojan offense went for especially the third quarter. It was rough, but even the first half, it never got into a good rhythm, and Piner somehow did. Back on court. Piner somehow got into a rhythm in the fourth quarter. That seemed to be the key, but Trojans didn't hold their poise 2 weeks ago when they had a 7-point lead. Piner has held their poise. They made their three throws and not turned the ball over, and you saw the excitement by them as San Ramon misses the first. And it's really been an unbelievable effort by him. Trojans are going to fall to 6-3 in league and in third place. San Ramon misses neither. O'Neal can try to jack one up. He's going to give it to Anderson, who just hit one. That's off the mark, and that will do it. Final score here, Piner 55, Petaluma 48. Piner goes to 6-2 in league play. They're going to need Healdsburg to lose a game. Back on us. They're going to need the Healdsburg to lose a game if they can win the SCL title. But the way Piner played tonight, maybe the Trojans can give them a favor. They played really well tonight. They found ways to get their offense going. And it feels like the things that have plagued the Trojans all season long have played this class all season long came apparent tonight in their SCL dreams end.
Yeah, their zone defense just wasn't enough tonight to stop these Prospectors. Their ball movement was really exceptional. Really just found the holes and the weaknesses in the defense, like I've said many times before, and I think that was really the deciding factor, as well as the third quarter. Trojan offense just could not get anything going.
Yeah, a lot of long faces. Coach Bears wasn't too happy after the Healdsburg loss. That one's going to come back to hurt definitely, because if they had won that, they'd still have a shot. But in these close games, they have been unable to get it going, could not hit their threes all night long, and they were forced to go into Anderson and Gottschall. And when they've done that all season long, it hasn't worked.
What? Yeah, major L. Major L. Hasn't worked out. Title hope shot, and it's it's like you said, tough pill to swallow for this team. Feels like they had a shot to really make something happen here tonight, and instead they come up empty-handed.
Hard to be too positive tonight. Congratulations, though, to Piner. Well played. We will wrap this up and get quick interviews in just a moment, so don't go we're getting interviews, Jamie. So Trojans fall to 5-3. They travel to Sonoma, which will not be easy. Remember, Healdsburg lost there. There is still plenty to play for. They like an NCS spot. They still can win the SCL tournament because they know they can play with both Healdsburg and Piner. They'll probably be a 3 seed. They'll probably have to go on the road to Piner. But this class is still talented. Maybe they can put it together in the postseason.
Yeah, I hope so. Even, winning that SCL tournament would be a nice consolation prize, but still not the thing they were hoping for.
Well, and the Trojan, our next live stream will be on the 7th against Annalee. It's going to be senior night. The senior class has done a great job, so don't miss that. It was a pleasure, again, calling it with you, Alex. Really enjoyed it, and maybe we can do it one more time. We will see.
I'm into it, Griffin. Thank you for having me once again.
Okay. That was Alex Dodd. I'm Griffin Epstein. We are going to grab interviews in just a moment.
I'm Belle Villarreal.
Yeah. Okay, thank you, Belle. So we're going to grab interviews. You can stick right here. Before you go anywhere, do not forget, thank you, Alex, that on Wednesday night there will be better news when the varsity wrestling team has their senior night against the Annalee Tigers. The varsity wrestling team undefeated. They have been dominant this year. They've been a lot of fun. There's going to be some good matchups with Annalee. It should be fun to watch that one. We have interviews. This is going to take 10 more minutes, okay? Stop. They really want to go home, but they're not going to get to do that because we will get interviews for you. So stay tuned. But the wrestling team on Wednesday night, do not miss that. That should be a lot of fun. That starts at 6 p.m. And then Tuesday night, next Tuesday, varsity basketball team takes on Annalee Senior Night. No. And a week from Wednesday, it's the varsity girls basketball team. They take on Sonoma Senior Night. The varsity girls basketball team still undefeated, Jamie. Undefeated in SCL. We will have coverage as they head to Annalee. That's going to be the pivotal one. Obviously, disappointment tonight, but maybe the varsity girls basketball team can take up an SCL title. They have a 2-game lead on the competition.
Wow, that's pretty cool.
Yeah, so we will see about that tonight. Even in the loss, there was a lot of great spirit. It was a lot of fun with the student section.
I'm going to be honest, I wasn't listening to you.
A lot of fun with the student section tonight.
Yes, there was a lot of fun. There was the color. I thought that brightened it up a little bit. It was pretty great.
So it was fun even in the loss. Players should be coming out in the locker room in just a moment. You're going to hold down the fort. I am going to try to grab Coach Scott Bears and maybe Cole Powers, who did have a strong game tonight.
Hello, stream.
Yes.
I know Griffin is going to come back and watch this later because Griffin doesn't trust me, but Griffin, I got this. This isn't my first time. It's my second time. So, God, I have no personality. So, hello everyone who's watching. Kaylee, how many we got watching?
People 19.
19. What's up, you 19 people? You a G. You, all of you are G's. I was in the comments with Kaylee.
Because it's still Alex and Griffin on the actual live stream.
Oh. Well, stay tuned, guys. I know that you can't hear me and you're gonna watch this when like all of you are gone. But you 19 people, you a G. You G's, you. I know you're judging me in the future, Griffin. What? Sure. Kaylee's coming to join me. She's going to stop arguing with all of you in the comments. And she's the person who has been arguing with all of you. This is Kaylee.
I haven't been arguing, actually.
Oh.
But, yes, I've been controlling the comments. Sorry, we do have post-game interviews coming your way. That was a miscommunication. Didn't realize we were going to continue to stream. Yeah. So make sure you tune in for those. Those will be coming shortly. Griffin's working some things out, working his magic, doing whatever Griffin does. And we really hope you enjoyed the basketball portion of the stream. And we apologize for the interruption in the beginning when we had no audio and no Wi-Fi. So, yeah.
Can you stop swearing, please?
Let's keep this professional.
Okay. So, why don't
Let us continue to stall until Griffin returns.
Why don't we read this? Jamie gets more personality? Who said that?
Let's not focus on the comments.
Okay, anyway. So let's read this. I think this is the other team because I don't recognize any of these names. Oh, here we go. Okay, so for the lineup. 0 is Robbie Izetta.
We already did this.
Well, I'm going to do it again, okay? So 0 is Robbie Izetta. 14 is Justin Wolbert. 11, Brandon O'Neill. 2, Ellis Whitaker. 21, Trey Davis. 13, Teddy Critchett, one of Trojan Live's own. 25, Garrett Gehring. 10, Cole Powers. Yes. 35, Devin Gottschall. 3, Jack Anderson. 24, Robert Holmes. 23, Kenny Alexander. 32, Zach Clark. And 40, George Tynes. And that was your Petaluma Trojans boys varsity basketball lineup that you already watched.
Yeah.
No.
Go ahead. As we continue to stall, Jamie, so how long have you been in Trojan Life for? Quick interview.
Okay.
Brief interview.
I've been in Trojan Live so far since the beginning of the year. I wanted to take it last year, but I couldn't take a 0 hour, so I didn't take it last year.
Got it.
But
And
I did this year.
are you enjoying your time so far spent here?
It's alright. No, I'm just kidding. Griffin in the future, I'm just kidding.
What department of our class do you prefer the most?
Tech, for sure. I like the behind the scenes. Anchoring is fun, but I do enjoy running the TriCaster and doing audio and control room directing a lot.
And what is it that you get to do in that department that is your favorite aspect of production of the show?
TriCaster, for sure.
And exactly what does that do?
TriCaster runs the whole show, so we call it running the show. And it's this big
Director.
board. It's this big board, and like there's buttons on it.
A lot of colorful buttons.
They're colorful.
We're
and they're
smarter
fun.
than we look, I promise.
They're really fun to press. We are really smart. It takes a lot to learn how to run the TriCaster. Kaylee is one of Trojan Live's best TriCaster runners.
I am. I was here last year. Tell her no. I'm just kidding. Actually, say like 20 minutes.
Classic Kaylee's mom. I've never met your mom before. Classic.
I've never met my mom. I'm just kidding. This has taken quite the turn.
So Kaylee, how long? Why is the microphone all wet?
Because I spit on it.
Okay, Kaylee, how long have you been in Trojan Live?
I have been in Trojan Live for 2 years now. This is my second year. Okay. This is my second year doing Trojan Live.
What department? What department is your favorite?
Ooh, well, last year I did a lot of tech, so I worked on TriCaster, same as Jamie, and currently I've been writing the script for the show, which is a really interesting process because sometimes we don't get our script in time, but it's okay.
Define interesting.
As in the class?
No, you said it's an interesting process.
Oh, interesting. Well, it's very fun. It's an entertaining class if you're really engaged in it, but if you're not, you can kind of see with some people that maybe they're not so engaged in what they're working on, which can be an issue sometimes because it slows the process of our show altogether. But interesting in the sense that I have no idea where this is going.
What is your favorite thing to do?
Definitely operate TriCaster during the show. It's a really intense process because you know the school's watching and you're live and you're controlling the stream, but it's still fun.
See, you said operate, and that made you sound really smart. I like that. That was so
It makes us sound more dumb.
Sophisticated.
It makes us sound more dumb when we point out the smart words that we're saying, but it's okay. It's okay. Who's watching still? Who's still watching this? No one. 0 viewers.
I know. We still have 16 viewers. Oh.
To everyone that's watching this, I didn't know there were actually 16 people still watching, so I'm sorry if I've been interesting to listen to.
Okay,
I used interesting again in that way. I mean weird. Okay.
Where the heck?
I will be back in just a moment to find Griffin Epstein, and we will get on those interviews shortly.
I'm alone again. The girl with no personality. I was talking about myself, not you. Hey Jordan. Jordan, do you want to join me? Okay, that's fine. I'll sit here. Griffin in the future. I can just see Griffin in the future, like looking through this, and he just goes, Jamie. I know. So right now, there's just like 3 kids on the court playing some basketball right now. They're pretty cute. There's 2 girls, a boy. They're all about my height because I'm pretty short. Oh God. No. And yeah, it's pretty great in here. The gym. Oh, thank God he's back.
Okay. We're going to get joined by Colt Powers. We apologize for the delay. Players been in the locker room for a while right here, Colt. Thank you for joining us. So this was just your second varsity game after getting called up from JV, and you played really well, especially in that first half. What was this experience like for you?
It's great. I mean, it's a lot faster pace, so I have to get used to that. But it's a great experience, and I just try to come out here and fit in where I can.
What was your motivation coming out in these last couple games that you weren't able to make varsity at the beginning of the season, but now that you're getting your chance?
You know, it was tough in the beginning of the season when I didn't make it, but I always just kept on grinding, and I knew that it would pay off, and it did.
Team really had their struggles, especially offensively in this one. Coming in, not playing with this team, why do you think the struggles offensively, especially in these big moments that have happened all season long?
I mean, we did terrible finishing, and I know we can finish, so it's just a matter of going back in the gym and getting better and just work on our weaknesses.
What do you look to prove is that there's still plenty to play for as the season goes along?
Yeah, I mean, we got the SCL tournament at the end of the season, so we're looking to play for that. But personally, just fit in where I can and help the team any way I can.
Thank you so much, Cole.
Yeah, no problem.
That was Cole Powers, who had a strong game tonight and is just second as varsity. We're going to talk to head coach Scott Bears in just 1 moment, so stay right there.
Oh. And I am back. If there's any questions, tell me. I want to answer them.
Oh, there was a question.
What was the question? I'll answer it if you're still there. Don't go. Stay tuned.
One question that I noticed came up was, what do you want to major in?
What do I want to major in? I do want to major in psychology and become part of the BAU before I die. Yeah, that would be ideal. I don't know where I was going with this. Oh, do you think the players get to keep their posters of themselves? Probably. I don't know what they would do with them. That'd be kind of cool. You know, Jack just has like a giant poster of him hanging on his wall, on his dorm. That would be kind of cool. Okay, anyway. So I want to major in psychology because I do want to go into the BAU, which is behavioral analysis. I know it's the part. No, it's a U.
Oh, I thought you said I.
Yeah, I don't remember what it stands for. I know it's behavior. No, it's a department in the criminal justice system where you because I really do enjoy psychology. It's in. So what you do? It's a department in the. It's words, Jamie. You're English, Jamie.
How many viewers do we still currently have? 0.
But
Okay, can you guys
Okay.
clear up, please?
Yeah.
Quickly? Thank you.
Yes. We're still streaming. Should we stop streaming?
No,
No?
Can you press record on there if it's not already going?
It's not.
Oh, right here. Sorry, coach. Oh, it is still recording. Keep it going then. Yeah. Yeah, just keep it playing. All right. Thank you, Coach. Yes, thank you, Coach Bears, for joining us. Team 1 and 6 in close games at the end. Again, falling short tonight. What went wrong tonight?
We weren't finishing around the rim. We got multiple looks inside and weren't able to connect. And that was big, you know, when we connect on those 2 and 3 footers. Now they're taking the basketball out of bounds. We can set up whatever defense we're planning on jumping into. Instead, when those balls come off the rim, they get to push the tempo up the other way and kind of in a scramble mode, and they're kind of picking us apart a little bit.
Team is, especially in the second half, felt like it was just going to Jack Anderson almost that entire time. Was that your strategy, or was just how the game panned out in that second half?
Well, yeah, you know, I think Jack was a mismatch out there. When he got the ball, he was able to get his shots at the rim. He forced a couple, but for the most part, I feel like he did his job. We'd try and shift the defense, find Jack, and let him go to work. In my personal opinion, he went up strong 3 or 4 times, and the defense hit him pretty hard, and he didn't get the whistle that I thought he deserved. And then on the other end, he got a pretty raw deal, and he was straight up, and they hit him for an and one. So, you know, shots aren't going down. Not getting the calls, trying to do the right thing, a couple breakdowns on defense, and a few turnovers. It's hard to win a ball game that way.
Well, there's still plenty to play for this team. SCL Tournament Championship coming up, possibly NCS playoffs. How does this team going to probably have a couple more close games with teams that you're very even with, like Healdsburg and Piner? How do you finish in the fourth quarter in those games?
It's like I said it before, it's the little things, it's getting around the rim and finishing your shot. It's calling a set and executing it and setting your screens and using your screeners and just kind of taking care of all the little things on the floor that add up to a full possession on either end. Yeah, the rest of this league run is going to be tough. I think every 4 time we step on the floor, the opponent, we could win, they could win. So if we even want to make this, honestly, we got to find a way to start winning these close basketball games. But I'm confident that we'll keep improving, and we'll sort of see what happens.
Thank you so much, Coach.
All right.
That was head coach Scott Bears. That is going to wrap it up for tonight. We appreciate everyone joining us. We do apologize for the technical issues. I think you got some of the first half in there. It was pretty tight there. Want to thank Tallulah Gardner, Melody Noble for their help. We got Jamie Cantieri, Kylie Smith. Kaylee Smith. Did I miss anybody? Genevieve actually was pretty much running tech tonight, so she did a great job as well. Trojans, they have been unable to finish in close games. They just don't seem to have that final aspect, Jamie, of being able to win it. And no SCL championship. The streak will live on, actually immortally now, because they will not be in SCL next year, but obviously still trying to win league championships in the future. And they gave it all tonight. Could not get it on, and Jack Anderson felt like he was the focus. No one else could going offensively. Credit to Piner. They played well, tough atmosphere. They stepped it up late. They get the victory. Again, don't miss our live stream Wednesday night, 6 p.m. wrestling team, and next week, Tuesday and Wednesday, 7 and 7:30. Senior night for both the girls team and the boys team, and the big varsity girls basketball game at Annalee will be uploaded on our channel by Saturday night. Check that out. That game is going to be huge as they're looking for their SCL title. Thank you, everybody, that helped out tonight. And, of course, my co-anchor, Alex Dodd. Piner wins here tonight. Trojans fall to their third SCL loss of the season. I'm Griffin Epstein. Thanks for tuning in, everybody. Good night, everyone.